Have you ever sat at your desk, stared at a per my last email notification, and wondered if your chair has a built-in eject button? Or maybe you've realized your boss treats urgent as a lifestyle choice rather than a legitimate deadline. If you've ever felt like the main character in a corporate horror movie, welcome home. You aren't alone and you aren't crazy. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 office nightmares that make us want to fake our own disappearances, and more importantly, we're talking about how to actually fix them. So you can reclaim your sanity. Imagine you are deep in the zone, working on a high-stakes project. That has been your entire life for the last 2 weeks. You've reached out for clarity 3 times because the project requirements seem to be shifting like sand. You send updates, you ask for a quick 5-minute sync, and silence. Your manager has become a phantom. You see them active on Slack, you see them posting on LinkedIn about thought leadership, but your emails remain unread. You are forced to make executive decisions just to keep the gears turning. Then 30 minutes before the final presentation, they materialize in your doorway or hop into your Zoom room with a casual, "Hey, I was just thinking, I actually think we should go in a totally different direction. Can you swap the data sets and change the branding to blue? Thanks." It feels like steering a massive ship through a thick fog bank. While the captain is taking a nap in the hull, you're doing double the work for half the credit and 0 direction, only to be told at the finish line that the track has moved. To survive the ghost manager, you have to stop being passive and start being dangerously documented. Start using the paper trail ping. Instead of asking for permission, send a summary of your intent. Moving forward with option A by 2 p.m. today, unless I hear otherwise. This effectively shifts the burden of accountability onto them. If they don't reply, they have implicitly agreed to your direction. Additionally, don't wait for them to find time. Book a recurring 10-minute stand-up on their calendar labeled as a blocker sync. Most ghosts find it much harder to ignore a formal calendar invite than a buried message in an overflowing inbox. Now let's talk about a different kind of monster, the credit snatcher. We've all been in that meeting, the one where you finally find the courage to share a brilliant, well-researched idea. You lay it out, and it's met with a brief "thanks noted," followed by awkward silence. Then 2 minutes later, a coworker, let's call him Dave, says the exact same thing, perhaps just a little louder and with more hand gestures. Suddenly, the room erupts. The boss says, "Brilliant, Dave, you're a visionary," and everyone starts nodding. You sit there wondering if you've accidentally become invisible or if Dave has developed telepathic powers that only work in reverse. That internal scream you feel is valid. It's the sound of your professional identity being hijacked in real time. But don't let it sit there and fester into resentment that you take home to your dinner table. You have to reclaim your space immediately, but do it with professional grace. Don't get angry, get collaborative. Try saying, "I'm so glad you agree with the point I just made, Dave." To build on that original thought I shared, I also have the data to back up the second phase. This reminds the room who the source was without making you look defensive. For a long-term fix, start sending a brief thought starter or agenda via email to the whole group before the meeting starts. You've now timestamped your genius, making it much harder for Dave to claim he discovered it in the heat of the moment. Then there is the ASAP firefighter. It's 4:55 p.m. on a Friday. You finished your tasks, your weekend plans are locked in, and you're literally reaching for the shut down button. Suddenly, a notification hits with a sound that triggers your fight or flight response. Urgent. Need this now. You look at the task and realize it's something that has been sitting on your boss's desk since Tuesday. But because they managed their time poorly, it is now your emergency. This isn't just a request, it's an arsonist asking you to put out a fire they started with their own procrastination. The relatable pain here is the feeling that your personal time is just a suggestion to your employer, a resource they can tap into whenever they please. To stop the fires, you have to stop being the water. When the 5 p.m. urgent request comes in, use the golden question. "I'm happy to help. Should I deprioritize the major project I'm starting Monday morning to get this done tonight? Or can this wait until Monday so I can give it my full attention?" This forces the manager to acknowledge the trade-off and the cost of their poor planning. Remember, if you always say yes at 5 p.m., you aren't being a team player. You are training your boss to send you work at 5 p.m. Start setting the boundary by responding to non-emergencies at 8 a.m. the following morning. The world will not end if a spreadsheet sits overnight. While we're on the subject of digital annoyances, we have to address the reply all chaos agent. It starts innocently enough. Someone in HR or facilities sends a company-wide email about a lost Tupperware container in the break room or a reminder about the office parking policy. Then the wave begins. One person replies, "Please remove me from this thread," to the entire company of 500 people. Then another person replies, "Me too." Then a third person replies, "Everyone stop replying all" to everyone. Your inbox becomes a graveyard of useless notifications, burying the work that actually matters and draining your phone battery with every buzz. It's the digital equivalent of someone shouting in a library about their missing sandwich. It's distracting, it's unnecessary, and it's a drain on collective productivity that costs the company thousands in lost billable hours. The fix here is twofold. Locally, learn to use the mute or ignore conversation feature in Outlook or Gmail. It's the greatest gift a software engineer ever gave to the corporate world. It allows the chaos to continue in the background without hitting your notifications. Globally, if you are the one sending a large announcement, use the BCC field for the recipients. If they can't see the list, they can't hit reply all, and you've single-handedly saved the company's afternoon. You become the unsung hero of the digital workspace. Finally, we have to face the most suffocating experience of all, the micromanager hovercraft. You're typing an email and you feel a presence behind you. You look up and your boss is literally standing over your shoulder asking why you chose a 12-point font instead of 11-point on a rough draft. They want to be CC'd on every internal Slack message, and they ask for quick updates every 45 minutes. You spend more time reporting on what you're doing than actually doing the work? This is more than just annoying, it's a total erosion of trust. It tells you that they don't believe you're capable of the job they hired you to do. The irony is that micromanagement usually stems from the manager's own anxiety and lack of control, not your performance. To ground the hovercraft, you have to over-communicate before they have a chance to ask. Send a proactive morning brief every single day. Here's what I'm focusing on, here are my 3 goals, and I'll send you a summary at 4 p.m. When you provide the information before they have to hunt for it, you soothe their anxiety and take away their excuse to hover. If that doesn't work, have the trust conversation during a 1-1. Ask, I want to ensure I'm meeting your standards. What can I do to give you full confidence in my workflow so you can focus on your higher level tasks? You're framing their exit from your business as a way for them to be more productive and look better to their own bosses. The office is a strange social experiment where we are forced to spend 40 hours a week with people we didn't choose, under pressures we didn't create. It's going to be messy, and there will be days when the per my last email energy is off the charts. But remember, you are a professional and you have agency. You have the right to a workflow that doesn't drive you to the brink of burnout. Work is what you do. It is not the totality of who you are. By setting boundaries, documenting your brilliance, and managing up, you aren't being difficult. You're being sustainable. You are protecting the very talent they hired you for. So next time Dave tries to steal your thunder or your boss pings you at midnight, take a deep breath, close those extra tabs, walk away from the screen for 5 minutes, and remember that Friday is always coming. You are the CEO of your own career, and these nightmares are just temporary bugs in the system. Use these fixes, protect your peace, and maybe, just maybe, you'll make it through the quarter with your sanity completely intact. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next one.